Welcome back, my new and existing work from homers. This is the next video in my series sharing with you how to work from home using Office 365. In the last couple of weeks as a trainer, we have been inundated because a lot of companies have dropped these tools in people's laps because of necessity. They had it on their roadmap, it was planned to roll out to you eventually sometime this year, and then all of a sudden, bam, we're all working from home and we're all working remote, and we don't know how, right? So in previous videos, I showed you how to create an account on your computer. I introduced you to Office 365 and OneDrive. And in this video, I want to introduce you to Teams. What is Microsoft Teams? It is your collaboration workspace in Office 365. So I've logged into office.com, and from the main page, I'm going to select Teams. Or if I were already in Office 365, you could just go to the waffle button and select Teams from there. It launches in the browser. Now keep in mind, there is a browser-based version of Teams, but there's also a desktop version of Teams that has a little bit more capability, just like any other application that's installed on your computer versus being accessed in a browser. If you would like the desktop version of Teams, go to the lower left-hand corner and you'll see a link to download and install the desktop app. Now, of all of the Office programs that have a web and a desktop version, Microsoft Teams in the browser and the desktop are probably the closest that you'll see in parity, meaning the features are all the same. It looks almost exactly the same. So if I wanted to, I could work in the browser or I could choose the desktop version, which I have installed here. In the desktop version, you can notice the only difference really is the browser bar is not at the top of the window. So it gives you a little more screen space. And in the lower left-hand corner, you can download the mobile app, which you can install on your phones, if it's available from your company. All right, so let me give you a little tour around Teams. On the left-hand side, you have a navigation bar. We have options for activity. This is your activity feed. Think of this kind of like your activity wall in Facebook, even though I really don't like to use that correlation, but most people can relate to that, right? What's been going on since I was here last? You'll see the chat option, which allows you to chat one-on-one or in groups within your organization. You have the Teams icon, which is where you land by default. Why that's not at the top, I'm not sure, but that's the default page. Your calendar, where you can see a preview not only of your Teams calendar, but also your personal Outlook calendar so you can coordinate those schedules. The calls option, which lets you create a call with your coworkers. The files option that gives you a roll-up of your files, not only the content that's in Microsoft Teams, but also a very quick link to your content that's in OneDrive. So if I look here and you watch my previous video, you'll notice these are the same files that we had in our OneDrive. It gives me really quick access to find my files, even if they're in my personal storage. Always click the little dots because you'd never know what little cool nuggets are in there. My favorite things in here are OneNote and Planner. And if you're creating videos like me and sharing with people, you might want to go to Stream. Down here at the bottom, we have the option for apps. There are tons of third-party apps that are available that integrate with Microsoft Teams. However, your company may or may not allow all of them, and so you need to have these vetted. You will probably only see the ones that have been vetted and released to your organization. So don't get too attached to anything you see here on my screen. And then probably the most important button on all of this, if you're brand new to Teams, is the help option. There's a topics, and it gives me a little pop-up. Remember, always read the pop-ups. Got it. And settings. So here's some topics for us to look at. Meeting up in Teams, live events, planning a meeting, getting joined in, and then some popular links here. Under training, these are little bite-sized videos, kind of like this one. How do you get started in Teams? So I'm giving you a little introduction, but if you want to have more detail, these are some great resources for you. You can't learn the application front to back, but it's very robust here. A lot of options for you, but this is why I still have a job. What's new? Those little pop-ups that come up, that if you've happened to close them, here's what's been happening in the development of Microsoft Teams over time. And then About will let you know which version of Teams that you're working in. So the Help option is fabulous. Now, in the upper right-hand corner, you have your profile, including the ability to change your picture, setting your availability status. By default, Teams reads your calendar and will mark you available or busy. If you're presenting, it's going to mark you as Do Not Disturb. Now, the other two options, Be Right Back and Appear Away. So Be Right Back, if you are offline for a certain period of time, it will mark you as Be Right Back automatically. As soon as you wiggle your mouse, it's going to either put you as available or busy, again, reading from your calendar. This last one is kind of what I call stealth mode. Appear away. I'm really here, but I don't want people to know I'm here, right? So if you're trying to work and not be disturbed, that might be a good way to do that. But again, people can still message you if they need to. So you can set your status by default. Now, if you set your status manually, it ignores your calendar. And you have to come back in here and reset your status. Otherwise, it's going to keep you on available or do not disturb or be right back until you go back and hit reset. That's one big mistake a lot of people make. I have one coworker that I'm always looking for him, and he's always available. I'm like, I work late at 7 o'clock at night. It's showing him available, but he's not because he went home a long time ago and never reset his status. Okay. Here are settings if you need them. Some tips and tricks for keyboard shortcuts if you need them. Again, you can sign out here as well. Okay, so that's in the desktop app. Two little hidden secrets up here. They're right there, but nobody notices them. The first one is this button that allows you to create a new chat. So if you need to quickly chat with somebody, you can type their name, find them in the list, and then start typing a message. I'm now chatting with Dan. Now it's showing him as offline, so he's not available. He's not logged in. The other one is this little search or command box. I love this one because I don't like digging around menus. I'm a keyboard girl. I like my shortcuts. So I'm just going to type / as it tells me to do, and it gives you a list of commands. So I want to set my status to Be Right Back, BRB. Watch what happened over here on my profile. It changed to Be Right Back. / I'm going to put in available and hit enter, and it'll go green again. If I want to chat with somebody, I'm going to type in / chat, hit the space bar. Now it's asking me for the person. Let's say I want to talk to Dan again. I'm going to select Dan and then type the message. And then hit enter, and it would have taken me right into the chat window, which is great. So I encourage you to go into the little taskbar up here, use those commands, or if you use the @ sign, it lets you pick a person or even one of the other applications. All right, so how does that look different in the browser? Here's the Teams version. I have my new chat window. I have my /. Up here I have the waffle button, which I don't have in the desktop version, so I can't switch from one to the other. So the waffle button and the download the desktop app is a dead giveaway of which version I'm in. In the next video, I'm going to break down what is a team and what is a channel.
Thanks for watching. I'm Shortcut Sherry, and it's my job to make your job easier.